Every Saturday night, we have incredible guests coming into Saturday Night Show from sports legends.
This is Patrick Njiro with John Karani, JK on Saturday Night Show.
Media icons.
Hi, this is Mado, M-A-D-D, Mad with a double D, with John Karani, JK on KBC English Service.
Music and entertainment.
Pilipili aka Masala aka Mr. Ho Ho on Saturday Night Show SNS Pilipili.
This is John Katana of the Mushrooms on Saturday Night Show SNS with my namesake JK.
Don't miss the next exciting name to drop by on Saturday Night Show SNS with John Karani. Saturday from 8:30 p.m. #SNS KBC. SNS Guest of the Week. Guest of the Week. SNS on KBC English Service.
Good evening. Welcome to Saturday Night Show SNS right here on KBC English Service. Tonight, tuko na mzee wa kazi mwenyewe, Fred Obachi Machoka, the blackest man in Black Africana. I'm a Black Africa. He's our guest in tonight's edition of Saturday Night Show. Fred Obachi Machoka, welcome to Saturday Night Show.
Asante sana JK.
Watu wengi wamekuulizia sana. Wanataka kujua story yako sana. Because, you know, when it comes to entertainment industry, broadcasting industry and mambo ya muziki, well, you are one in a million. Sasa labda utueleze hii maneno kwanza.
Yes.
Wewe ulianza ukiwa shule? Because most people say, mimi nilianza maneno nikiwa shule.
Ni kama nilikuwa shule kusema ukweli, kwa sababu mimi nilianza nikiwa kijana. Lakini sio sana vile eti kwamba nilikuwa shule, kwa sababu hata nikiingia kwenye hii fani ya utangazaji nilikuwa tayari nishafanya kazi katika kikosi cha polisi kwenye signals department, communication, upande wa mawasiliano. Na nikahudumu I think like 4 years plus.
So you were a soldier?
Yes, kidogo. Kwa muda mfupi, almost 5 years.
No wonder the discipline that you have in everyday life.
Yes.
So at least that stint which you did as a soldier shaped you in a way.
Oh yes. I tell you, working for disciplined forces ni kitu muhimu sana. Inakufundisha mengi, inakufundisha uvumilivu, inakufundisha nidhamu, inakufundisha pia how to be strong in terms of, you know, they say you don't know how strong you are until you are in danger.
Yes, then is when you
ndio unakuja kugundua kumbe niko na nguvu kiasi.
Yes.
So serving in the forces, especially in the Northern Frontier District NFD that time, under very very tough conditions, fighting the shifter war was not exactly an easy thing. So later on, the way God works, I had an opportunity to then join the broadcasting industry
now,
by default.
Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing a soldier,
yes,
and microphone.
Yes.
Okay, both of them unashika, lakini soldier, bunduki,
yes,
microphone, kutangazia watu.
yes, yes.
Those are they are a bit on the extreme, eh?
Yes.
How did you transition from being a soldier now mpaka nyuma ya microphone kutangaza?
You know, in first in the forces, I was in the signals department. Signals department is where we were trained how to communicate. So nilikuwa na microphone yangu. Tulikuwa tunatembea na communication gadgets huko msituni. Ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunaweza kuwasiliana for rescue in case tunashambuliwa na mambo kama hayo. And we had also been taught a few tricks in communication, kama vile unaweza kuwasiliana na watu ukitumia taa peke yake, torch. Yaani kwa mbali tu signals za torch, unaweza kuonyesha, unaweza kuzungumza na torch ukitumia torch, na mwenye anaelewa mambo ya signals akaona kwamba ulikuwa unamwambia nini. Na pili, tulikuwa tumefundishwa pia namna ya kutumia kitu tunaita Morse code. Morse code ile sauti unasikia Yeah, that kind of communication ilikuwa inaitwa Morse code. Sijui kama hivi sasa bado ipo ama haipo. Sasa nikashiriki katika shindano la kipindi ambacho kilikuwa kinajulikana kama Sanyo Juu Sanyo Tops.
Sanyo Juu Sanyo Tops, a very popular program.
Yes, so I participated in that, a radio competition, and I won a radio. But I was in Wajir, in the Northern Frontier. So when I got leave, I came over to Nairobi to pick my radio from the producers of the radio show. There was Saidi Omari Kasongo, there was a guy called Mohammed Rama, and there was a gentleman called Peter Colmo, who was the owner of the company that was producing the commercial show. So when I came for my radio, which was a gift, a prize, the producer told me, I think you got a nice voice, man. I think would you be interested in broadcasting? I said, yes, but I'm a soldier. How can I do that? They said, no, it is, I asked, do you pay for these services? They said, yeah, we pay. Not much, but we do pay.
Yes.
So I said, sure, I can do that, but I'm a soldier. So they said, no, what we can do is we can give you just a 5 minutes segment within the 30 minutes
so that
radio
you can try
show.
out.
So we try out.
Yes.
And so they gave me a 5 minute segment, which they called Masignola.
Masignola. Yes.
This was, I think they were using it as an endorsement because we were the people in communication. So they used me as a person in communication to endorse the electronic products.
Yes.
Sanyo Electronics.
Electronics.
So they said Masignola ndio wanaelewa ni radio ipi iliyo bora zaidi.
Wow.
You understand?
Yes.
So they used me that time while I was still in the forces. That was actually 1975.
Now that's when the bug started biting you.
That is when the bug started biting me. Then, after 1 year, in December 1976, after doing this 5 minutes segment, I felt, siniwache tu nifanye full time kazi ya utangazaji. So that is when I resigned from the forces and got into this thing.
Okay, now Sanyo Juu Sanyo Tops.
Yes.
That was one hell of a program. It revolutionized the way people are doing radio programs, especially commercial programs on radio.
Yes.
I mean, how are you doing it? Because basically it's like you are way ahead of your time.
To be honest, I was not the pioneer of the show. I did join the crew that was doing the show, that led by Saidi Omari Kasongo, my mentor, the guy I really respected a lot. Unfortunately, Saidi Omari Kasongo passed on. I think it was he got sick. I think it was TB, which was untreatable at that time.
Yeah.
And when he passed on, then Mohammed Rama and myself continued to do the show. Later on, Mohammed moved to the offices to do proper editing and other things. So I remained as the voice of Sanyo. And that is when we continued to push the brand, which was number 3 behind Philips and National
Panasonic.
Radios. Yes, National Panasonic. Philips was the leading brand, followed by National Panasonic. But in 3 years, we put Sanyo in the pedestal, and it's never looked back for years. Sanyo was the name to go for if you wanted to buy a radio or a record player or a cassette recorder that time.
Okay, so what was the reaction of basically your parents? Because hao wanajua umeenda jeshi.
Yes.
All of a sudden tena wanakusikia umeanza kutangaza kwa radio. So, I mean, did they sit you down wakasema sasa tena umeanza mambo ya kuongea kwa radio? Nini mambo ya jeshi ilienda wapi?
Unajua, some of us tulizaliwa huku kijijini.
Yes.
So the moment my father was a simple teacher, my mother a housewife, and literally I was like one of the first people from the family. I'm the fourth in the family of 10, but I was the first one now to get to the city. So it was like, you must know what you're doing. If you can survive in the city, you must know what you're doing. And the fact that when I was on air now, mentioning my name, it also percolates right into the village. Yes. Where my parents were. They felt it was an upgrade.
So they were okay with that?
They were okay with that,
okay.
Yes.
Now there was a name, the blackest man in Black Africana.
Yes.
I mean, basically, hiyo ilikuwa ni kama sasa imekuwa ni wewe.
Yes.
How did it come about, I mean?
First, it was TBMIBA,
yes.
The blackest boy in Black Africa.
Yes.
That is how I used to call myself. And a lot of people really wonder why, because I know I'm black, but not that black.
Definitely.
As to be the blackest.
Yes.
When I was young in primary school, we used to see teachers and indeed even society insulting people who are black. Mtoto wa kike sana sana akiambiwa, you are black, you ugly black girl.
Yes.
Wengine wanatoroka shule. Even boys, they used to run away because they say, Daddy, me, I was told I'm black and ugly. So you find they run away from school. And this thing didn't sound right for me because I felt being black is not a curse. It is just a color like any brown person.
Yes.
Then girls, during my time, I don't know, now they have upgraded that. They used to use Ambi. Extra.
Yes.
You know, a powder and a creams that made their complexion lighter so that they could appeal to men and, boys. And this to me wasn't just right. It showed like being black is also tantamount to being ugly.
Ugly, yeah.
So having gotten an opportunity to be on air, I thought it is important to tell people without telling them that being black is indeed beautiful.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay to be black. So I coined that slogan, the blackest man in Black Africa, meaning I was proud to be black.
This is SNS Saturday Night Show with John Karani, JK.
On KBC English Service.
Welcome to Saturday Night Show SNS right here on KBC English Service. Tonight, tuko na mzee wa kazi mwenyewe, Fred Obachi Machoka, the blackest man in Black Africana. I'm a Black Africa. He's our guest in tonight's edition of Saturday Night Show. You had a studio also called F35. FM35.
Yes.
A production studio.
Yes.
A production house.
Yes.
Basically, you were doing commercials, and also you started delving into the world of entertainment in terms of bringing artists into the country.
Yes.
How did you start that?
I don't know. I mean, I was just trying out how to survive. Your survival instincts come in various shapes and sizes and ways. I felt that if I did commercial broadcasting, got some people to come and pay for airtime, for their products to be advertised on VOK and later KBC, I could make some money on the side. So in 1988, when I was 35 years old, I decided to form a company called FM, Fred Machoka.
35.
At 35. Yes. So I called it FM 35 Promotions Limited. And that is when I started now creating radio shows like Ugua Pole na Luko Z.
Yeah.
I did shows Sportsman ni Sawa Hasa. I did shows Sengenge ni Ngombe. I did many shows. I can't remember. About 20 different sponsored radio shows for my clients. But like you say, the bug of entertainment has never left me because I love music. I've been promoting music all my life. Because even Sanyo Juice, Sanyo Tops was a program that specifically promoted Sanyo products, but also promoted music because I did top 10 show. So I used, during our time we could go to various places, Asanans,
Yes.
Melodica, Kanindo's place, many other places where music outlets where they used to sell music, and check with them physically on their sales returns which songs were selling well.
Yes.
And then now we compile a list of the top selling hits, and those are the songs that we then could
Sanyo
play
tops.
on radio.
Yes.
So I have loved music for a long time.
Now you started bringing the artists from outside
Yes.
to come into the country.
Yes,
Some of the big names that you've actually worked with, maybe you could give us just a...
In my life, to be honest, there have been many artists that I have interacted with at close range. People like Mzee Franco and TPOK Jazz, Tabule. I've interacted with Yvonne Chaka Chaka,
Yes, from
the
down
princess of South Africa. I've interacted with Anna Mwale, the beautiful girl from Zambia. I wish I could get to see her one more time.
Yes.
I really love that girl because she is the epitome of entertainment.
Yes.
I don't know where
when
she
on
went.
stage.
Yes, when on stage, she's pure dynamite.
Yes.
Then I've interacted with people like Yellow Man.
King Yellow.
Yeah, the reggae man.
Yes.
Who else? Lucky Dube I met.
The late Lucky Dube.
Yes, I have met. I have interacted with Barry White, the king of soul from
The one with that deep voice.
Yes. Who else? Kanda Bongo Man, of course.
Okay, maybe you could tell us.
Yes. Chala Mwana. I've met Kenny Rogers.
Maybe you could tell us
Yes.
about Kanda Bongo Man, because you have a very interesting story you were telling me earlier on about how basically you managed to bring Kanda Bongo Man into the country when he was at his peak.
Kanda Bongo Man was a very elusive artist because in the 90s when I was doing Music Time on KBC,
Yes.
which was almost like a cult.
Music Time
had
has
a
been-
cult following. It was really, I've yet to see a TV show that
Everybody
beats-
waited for every week.
Yes, it was the thing. It was a religion, literally, and so we in the 90s, Kanda Bongo Man was really big. He had just released his music, Lisa, Inde Moni, Lela Lela.
Yes.
Tough, sukus kind of songs that were in a beat called Kwasa Kwasa.
Kwasa Kwasa, yes.
So a promoter from Congo called Tamkati Ndongala, is now deceased, may God rest his soul in eternal peace, had come to Kenya, and then he came to see me. So we talked, and then he was interested in us bringing a musician, a group of musicians, ladies only, called Taz Bolingo. So I listened to the music of Taz Bolingo, and I told him, no, I think you are going to waste money here. So we were in my office, Lenana Road that time, and we were watching TV, and there was this Kanda Bongo Man on Utna show.
Yes.
Performing in Perth, Australia. And I told him, that is the man that needs to come to this country. He said, are you sure? I said, I am positive. I am the one who serves the Kenyan population with music.
Yes.
So when I tell you this is the artist to bring, I know that that artist will sell. So I then told him, he said, I know Kanda Bongo Man. I said, if you know him, go for him. He said, okay, I'll go to Congo, then I can find out. I said, no, don't go back to Congo. That guy is in Australia.
Go to Australia.
Go to Australia. So the guy bought a ticket from Nairobi to Perth, Australia, went to the hotel where Kanda Bongo Man was performing, and signed a contract in Australia for Kanda Bongo Man to come and perform in Kenya. He called me from Australia. He told me we have signed a contract, but Kanda Bongo Man has to go back to Paris, and then he will be coming in a month's time. So he flew. I told him to fly back to Nairobi. We talk. When he came back to Nairobi, we agreed with my producer, the late Isaac Barrow.
Yes.
May God rest his soul in peace too. Great young man. We agreed with him that for it to be credible that Kanda Bongo Man is coming, because a lot of promoters had indicated that they were bringing Kanda Bongo Man, they talk about it, and then nothing happens.
Yes.
So I said, for it to be credible, someone needs to go and interview. First Barrow said, I wish Kanda Bongo Man could call us. We talk on phone. I said, no. We have to make an effort to go to Paris and interview Kanda Bongo Man in Paris. So I told Samkati, you raise some money, I'll raise a bit.
So that both of you could go to Paris.
So that one of us could go. He said he's going back to Congo. I told him I'll go to Paris. So I left for Paris to go and interview Kanda Bongo Man. Arriving in Paris, it was Easter. I found Kanda Bongo Man had left Paris for a town 400 miles away called something like Sens. And
here you are in Paris.
And here I am in Paris. I don't speak French. I don't know the town. And it's Friday. So.
And it's supposed to come back when?
It's supposed to come back on Monday.
So you have the whole weekend.
I looked at myself. I said, I can't survive here like this without seeing anybody till Monday. It's not possible. Locked in my room, no.
Great mix music on SNS Saturday Night Show
on KBC English Service.